everyone. Welcome to another episode of Two Ales and Hockey Tales with Wally. And today I am so excited to have on a 28-year-old from Rosemère, Quebec, Canada. His hockey journey has taken him to Canada, the USA, Denmark, Germany, and he's becoming a legend of England, folks, with the Chocolatey Manchester Storm. He is already a shed legend after episode 216 has combined for 1,134 goals, plays, or listens, which took place before his first match with those Chocolatey Storm. And the following evening, he potted 2 goals and has been running amok of the AHL ever since, putting up 23 goals in 40 matches and has 6 more tucks than any other shed guy on the squad. Oh, and he has the most power play goals in the league, folks. But we can't act surprised because he's been scoring and winning since his junior days, where he became a Q champion with Rimouski Oceanic after putting up 44 goals and 91 points, and then had his way with Canadian Youth Sports with Concordia University. And he is now still scoring and winning, folks, with the hottest squad in the EIHL, the Chocolatey Manchester Storm. Welcome to my kitchen, Anthony DeLuca.
Thanks for the invite.
Hey, thanks for coming on, man. You know, it's fun
Yeah.
when you wake up in the morning and you have no idea what's going to happen, right?
Oh yeah.
Nice to see you again.
Yeah, nice to be back.
So you had a dinner tonight, eh?
Yeah. We
Like a team one or sponsors, or what are you into?
no, just my girlfriend and I, just with another couple. Yeah, we have
Yeah.
a pretty good wing spot here in Manchester. So
Wing spot, eh?
yeah.
I don't recall having good wings overseas.
Oh yeah, they're surprising. Honestly, it's nice. It's like being back home. So it's a nice little treat.
Um, yeah, I got enough cooking around here too. It's March break, so I got 4 kids, but they just ended for me, right? And they're all entertaining themselves. So I thought, why not jump on and have some fun, right?
There you go. Yeah.
And so how we know each other, we met episode 216. That was when you first landed, right?
Yeah. Like pretty much a day after I landed, actually.
Yeah, and you'd had like one practice, and that was before I really got invested, I guess, in the Manchester Storm. It started having
Yeah.
all your whole organization on, eh?
Yeah, I think you're like part owner of the team now, right?
I thought, like I thought they'd let me have a pop-up stand and like sell some clothes, right? I thought Finner would want to get in bed that way, and I'd give him a little tickle in bed if he would let me do a pop-up stand, right?
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's coming.
I think Finner's always been waiting for a tickle from me, He just didn't know me yet. But yeah, like it's pretty fun getting to know like an organization, and then like I actually like check to see if you guys are winning now. It's weird.
Yeah, ever since we started having us on, I guess we've been winning. So I
Well,
guess
I
we'll have
think
to.
isn't it fun though when like chocolate hits the ice? Like, isn't it
Oh
kind
yeah.
of like got a buzz going around town?
Oh, it's the best. I mean, gives you a little treat after the game for the
And you
next
got to
week.
earn
So
it too, right? It's really
yeah,
fun.
exactly. Yeah.
I know I'm having fun with it. Like when I see the videos of it happening over there, it just makes my heart melt, right? And it looks just like the big blue tent back in the day.
Yeah, it's a good time for sure.
Did you ever play in the big blue tent?
No,
You wouldn't
actually.
have. No, you
No.
don't. Yeah. So your arena is the exact same as like what I played in Cardiff. And
Really?
it's bizarre. Yeah. And now you guys are running amok. It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
So yeah, you came on and we never discussed what chocolate you wanted, but then I saw you in the Greggy bus, eh? You made a guest
Yeah.
appearance.
Yeah. While I was getting my legs massaged there, had
Getting the
my
Jets ready.
yeah, had my leg massager on, and Greggy was giving you the tour there.
Is that what it is? It's a massager? I didn't know what those things did. Those are like I thought they're like a compression thing.
Yeah, it's like pretty much a compression thing. It's just like gets your legs like feeling better before the game.
Is it like moving around and massaging, or is it just
It like
compressed?
yeah, it goes like section by section, so it's just like
Ah,
yeah, I guess it compresses mostly, and it's just like I don't know if it's more of a mental thing, but it definitely makes me feel better. So
well, whatever works, right?
yeah,
Seems like it's
exactly.
working, whatever you're doing. And I noticed that another player on your team I'm a big fan of still hasn't got back yet. Jesper hasn't played yet. Is that right?
Yeah. Unfortunately,
That
he's
sucks.
been a big he's been a big miss for us, especially for our power play. Like he was fun to dish across to. So
Were you guys on the flanks together?
Yeah, when I got here, I was originally with him, and I got my assists way up. I wasn't really scoring when I got here. I only had like three regular season goals. The rest were all in like a Challenge Cup. So
Oh,
yeah, it was Jesper was getting my points up there. It was just
I haven't
speed.
seen him play, but his hockey stance screams he's a hockey player.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
Yeah. Inspired me. I still got to get my hats made with my Shed Guy and Shed Gal hats, with my kids' hockey stats. But yeah, my son's hockey season ended yesterday. So that's been pretty sad around here for him. He's
yeah.
a little distraught today.
You don't know what's going on now, eh?
No, and it's like still winter and it's over. It's just like, geez,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
be
yeah,
bet be better and you're still playing, right?
yeah.
So yeah, the Greggy bus, what a spot, eh?
Yeah, honestly, like he's such a
It's
good
like an
guy.
experience, eh? It's not just a bus, it's an
Oh no,
experience.
yeah, he's got the karaoke machine down there and stuff. He's a hell of a character. He's a good guy.
He's got her all decked out. And it's pretty neat. The fun things that can happen from chatting with dudes in your shed is like head of marketing Jake got a tour of the Greggy bus in Dundee. While you fellas were warming up, Greggy gave Jake a tour of the bus, and it was
Mhm.
just a couple text messages to set that up, right? And it's pretty neat
Yeah.
that can happen across the world.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's really cool. Yeah, it's yeah, that trip actually didn't end up so well. The bus broke down right after that. So
I heard some. Greg, you mentioned something about it, and he was telling me what went wrong. I'm like, I don't know about buses, man.
yeah, that was kind of a disaster, but it is what it
So
is.
you got to ride back with the fans, right?
Yeah, like halfway back, and then the bus ended up like working. It was a disaster.
That happened to us in Germany once. I remember we got on the fan bus, and it was like a Friday, right? We didn't play till Sunday,
Yeah,
so the fans were offering me beers, and I was like, "Yeah, sure."
yeah,
Apparently, that was frowned upon because all the fans couldn't believe I was crushing pints with them. I'm like, "Well, that's hockey,
yeah. Don't offer them.
Yeah, I don't know. Can't control myself. You could ask me if I want one, and I'm driving on a bus talking hockey. Why not, right?
Yeah,
Those are long nights, though, eh? When things go wrong.
yeah. I mean, like cool on the fans to even let us on the bus. Like they didn't really like
I bet you they were into it.
it. Yeah, I mean, we just felt bad. Like some of them had to like
Did you
stand
get
up and
right
stuff.
in sitting with them though, or did you guys like move the ball to the front of the bus and you
Yeah,
guys
like
took the
we
back?
were all like in the front, they were in the back, but like there wasn't enough seats for everyone. So like yeah, it just turned out to be like people were like everywhere. It was
A
just like
long night.
yeah, tough night. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you guys did just have like a 5-game winning streak or something, right?
Yeah, we were flying for a bit there. Unfortunately, we just lost to Belfast there last night, but obviously they have a really good team. Like they're competing for a championship, so
Yeah.
it's
Well, and I did see that game, which there was no chocolate. Martin Brodeur was there.
yeah. Yeah, our goalie is Jeremy Broder, and
Right.
his
And he's
dad came
doing
in
quite
2 weeks.
well.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he's amazing. Yeah, yeah, he's been a big help for us.
Yeah, well, you guys have definitely been winning since he's been there. And from what I've noticed, not that I pay attention that much, but I do. But that would have been neat. Did you meet him and stuff? Because I was thinking, geez, I saw Manchester post it and said he was in town. I'm like, geez, so we're both Storm fans. And I can tell he's probably a Shed guy, right? So I'm like, geez,
Yeah,
maybe I should shoot my shot and ask him.
yeah,
And
he's
we'll see if I can coerce him into my shed or if he even sees that I wrote to him, right?
he's definitely a good guy. I actually live with the Broads, so he ended up like Marty ended up coming over to check our place out. So I met him there originally, and last night we went for supper with him. So that was a pretty cool experience for sure. Like just
Your
like hearing his
roommate's
story.
Brodeur.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he gonna come to the shed or what?
I
I
think he's
wrote to him and
gaming
he
right
just
now.
ignores me. He just ignores me.
Yeah, he's a busy guy, man. He's very
Goaltenders, eh?
fun.
Hey, whatever. If the goalie doesn't want to come on, I don't want to get the way he's playing. He doesn't seem to need a
he's
shed boost. I
real
should just
hot.
leave
Yeah,
him alone, right?
yeah, he's real hot right now. So,
Yeah.
well, I mean,
So,
he's been hot all year. So,
well, I don't know. I want you to come to my shed, but if you don't want to because you're hot, then stay hot, right?
I'll stay hot. Yeah.
Then I'll bug your dad. Anyways, it'd be funny if you did. Hey, so another way we know each other. I saw a video of you scoring a goal. You like did the Forsberg move, like the one hander, eh? With guys draped all over you.
Yeah, yeah. That's kind of my kind of my go-to when I get in trouble. I run out of real estate. I just go to that. It's
I liked it.
hope
I
for the
like that
hope for the
you're
best.
Yeah, I like that you're doing that at that speed with guys on you. That was clever move.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think when I got here, I like tried it like 4 or 5 times, and it like wasn't paying off, and then kind of threw it back in the bag there a couple weeks ago. So
Well, I liked it. Actually, this weekend my son tried to do the between the legs shot in under 11. That was pretty interesting.
yeah,
He messed it up, but he tried it,
yeah, good for him. Yeah,
I guess, yeah. I don't know. Weren't allowed to do that stuff when I played.
no, yeah, that was pretty frowned upon a couple years ago.
So when we did see each other in the Greggy bus, though, because when we first talked, chocolate wasn't a thing yet. We hadn't started that yet, right? It wasn't until
Yeah,
Critch came on and he wanted a storm. But you did mention on your guest appearance on the Greggy episode that you do like lions. Is that still the case, or have we got lions? Has that been confirmed?
yeah, actually, yeah, people are throwing lions. It's been nice. Yeah, lions,
Isn't that cool?
roosters. Yeah, yeah. You get the lions with your name on it. It's pretty. It's funny that the fans. Well, it's nice of them to just take their time out of their day and go get that for us. So
Isn't
it's
it?
pretty cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool to see how dedicated they are. Yeah.
Well, and that's how this whole thing works. The Shed is like how passionate the UK fans are, and that they do like getting to know their players, and they kind of will do anything for you, right? They just want to see you guys win and support you. And I think it's very neat that they only throw it on for wins. Everybody gets what's going on, and that yeah, they throw them for individual people, but also for everybody, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's yeah, we end up sharing them in the room, so everyone gets their bits and pieces, but obviously the ones with the name on them,
I
they
think
they
we've started a thing here in Manchester. I think this is a thing. I don't think this is just a 1 year thing. I don't know.
yeah. I mean, hopefully, yeah, it'd be cool if that kept going. I'm sure the players would love that for
Yeah,
sure.
and it's interesting, like how many Manchester fellows I've had on. So I have lots of Cardiff fans writing like, "You're not having any of our guys on, and we need a shed boost for playoffs." And I'm like, "Well, I don't have that much time." It's like today, I have like an hour and a half window right now before I gotta go do all the other stuff, right? And I don't have time for everybody. I'm kind of committed here, you know.
Committed to the storm.
But like, so you guys did just get into the playoffs, and like research team got a bit hot, and jeepers, would it be confusing if you guys play Cardiff?
Yeah, for sure.
Let's
We
just avoid that. Let's have you play the orange where they banned fun, and then you could play the team that banned fun, and then have the team that embraced fun after Kit Kat get that, chocolate was banned, and
Oh, is that actually banned?
that was, you can't do it no more. We it was bad. The
Oh,
kid, there was too far of a throw at the Sheffield Arena, and there was babies getting hit and people getting hit, and we didn't do the risk assessment beforehand, but a lot of Kit Kats did make it onto the ice. But I guess it messed up the ice. But I think it was more of the safety factors that, like, geez, I heard at the storm shelter people aren't even hitting the ice, and it's like, well, what would have happened in Sheffield when they're way up top, right?
yeah, that's
You
tough
need a
though.
good arm to get her out there.
Yeah, you got Sammy Sosa over there throwing kick ass.
So yeah, after that, it is confirmed that we can't do that anymore there. So
Wow, I didn't know that was a thing.
yeah. So it'd be funny
That's
though, because I heard you guys just beat them, and like a couple of their players got hit in the head with chocolate bars, right? That's funny,
yeah, it's part of the job, man. You gotta
right?
watch out. You gotta watch out.
Yeah, and then I heard there's people taking the chocolate. The Steelers were taking your guys' chocolate after you guys won. It's everybody's was up in arms about that. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that's
yeah, I hope you guys don't play Cardiff in the quarterfinals. I don't need that, We don't need
yeah,
that.
too much stress on you, eh?
Yeah, it'd be too confusing. Uh, so Lions though. Is that like a Mars bar? What is that?
It's like I don't even know what this like.
Is it caramel? It like the
It's like
package is like orange, right?
yeah, it's like brownish orange. It's I don't know how to explain it best. It's like Kit Kat with like
It's
just like
got
a
like a wafer in it, like Kit Kat.
kind of yeah. It's like a
I've definitely
crunchy.
never had a lion.
Yeah. Oh, they're dynamite. Yeah.
Really?
Maybe throw crunch in there too. Like I don't know if it's crunch or crunchy. The blue bars.
Right.
Those are yeah. People
I
could
think
start throwing those. That'd be
you like
great.
crunches too.
Oh yeah, those are dynamite. Yeah, they might even be up there more than the Lion, to be honest.
Well, the last guy that asked for crunchies, I think, was in Cardiff, and it was going really well. There's a lot of chocolate hitting the ice, and then I don't know what happened, and then he was gone, and chocolate stopped. So I don't know. Not my business. When things like that happen, it's not fun. It's not fun for either side. So whatever happened, none of my business because it's not fun, right? But the crunchies were fun for a little bit. You know, when like there'd be a night, there was a night Cardiff won, and you guys won, and there was chocolate happening in two different places in the world because of the shed, right? That's
Yeah,
cool.
there you go. Yeah, rain
That's
and
neat.
chocolate.
And I don't know. I guess I never would have checked if Denmark won or Herning won that night. Maybe there was chocolate in three spots. That's pretty neat though. So thanks, Shed family. Keep up the good work and keep supporting the Storm, right?
Yeah, keep throwing those chocolates for sure.
Lions and Crunchies, folks. So gearing up for playoffs. How many games you guys got left?
I might get this wrong, but
Okay, don't answer. Those are tough questions. I'm not even going to ask who you play next because I know some guys just aren't into that stuff. They just show up
yeah,
to play. I'm
I
not.
know we play Fife next, but
So that'd be a big one, right?
yeah,
They're fighting
yeah,
for their lives too, right?
yeah. I think we like it's all pretty big games. We play like Fife, Nottingham three times.
You
Uh,
played Nottingham three more times.
yeah, and that's like the team that we're battling against the
Yeah.
most. Yeah, I think it's going to come down to that, honestly. Like,
Yeah, it sounds like it. Well,
yeah,
that's kind of like your own little playoff series there. That sounds fun.
yeah, especially that we don't really, I mean, playoffs here are an aggregate, so
Isn't
that'll,
that something?
yeah, that's wild. It's
Isn't
yeah,
it? And you know what's interesting about that? If say you played Nottingham in a series, how different your ice surface is compared to theirs, right?
oh yeah, it goes from like the smallest one in the league to the biggest, so it's
Oh, and warmest puke.
yeah, it's gonna
Gosh.
be yeah,
I could feel fat on the Nottingham ice because it was so big, right? And it's
yeah,
jeepers. Yeah. Yeah, but it's a totally different game at both places. And it's interesting that it's aggregate in
yeah.
hockey.
I think a lot of teams are gonna have a hard time coming to us for sure. Um, but
Yeah.
then again, like we're in the same boat as them, so
Yeah. Oh, it's a fun time of year though to be in that type of games, right? That
yeah,
means stuff and no, it's good stuff. So let's see, after a big W. So you guys did beat Cardiff the other night, and people
yeah.
were alluding to the fact that it was my fault. I had nothing to do with it. I was in Canada. Um, you guys played the game and you guys are feeling it and having fun and winning. I would just talk to you guys. I haven't had that many Devils on, but you know what? I did ask a few and they didn't respond. So I moved on, right?
There you go. Like it's low key picking sides, but we
and,
like it.
and it's like, who wants to be on my team? I asked Todd if I could do a pop-up stand. He got all businessy. He didn't want me to do it. I had to be like a team sponsor or something or other. And I'm like, geez, I'll pay you if you want. And then crickets.
Wow,
It's like,
tough bounce.
it's like, who wants me? Who wants the shed on their
Who
team,
wants to
right?
shed? Yeah,
It's like free marketing, folks.
tough bounce, tough bounce.
Tough bounce. Tough bounce. Anyway, so what would you eat after a big W? Say, other than the chocolate, you win a big game. Maybe you go Forsberg, one hander. What are you going out on the town and running amok with late night? What food are you putting in your belly before bed?
Um, you're saying game next day or no game?
No game. No, this is the end of the weekend.
Oh yeah, then it's always a treat. Oh, that's a good question actually.
I'm a
Uh,
kebab guy.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean kebab. Yeah, kebab's just too far of a walk here. It's like, and it's
Mm.
raining all the time, so I'm just not into.
Yeah. You don't want to work for it at that time. You want it to
No,
just be there.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm going to Uber Eats something.
Oh, you got Uber Eats. You guys are like in the city, eh? We don't have that where I
Yeah.
live here.
Oh yeah, we're right in the mix. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a while, Broads and I were doing McDonald's after like the Sunday game. That was like our pretty much a go-to for a while. But now
What are
he's
we
like,
doing? Like a Big Mac meal? What are you doing?
no, the triple cheese. That was like the yeah. We got all the guys on the team doing the triple cheese for a while.
That's
Um,
good. Yeah, chocolate and triple cheeses, and
yeah,
we're
yeah.
just running
Meal
amok,
of
eh?
champions. Yeah, the boys are flying on triple cheeseburgers. No, then yeah, Broads found this new spot. He's like he's the king of Uber Eats. So yeah, I just trust him. He goes all stars, and yeah, I
Uber
take that.
Eats, that's a whole different experience. So then it's just showing up at your house.
Oh yeah, the
You don't
dream.
even do anything. You don't even have to work for it.
No, no, just
Games
go get it
changed, eh?
downstairs.
Games changed, yeah.
Oh, a lot better. Yeah.
Mm. Okay. So McDonald's was your thing, eh?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it changes from time to time. Now he's got us on the All Stars. It's called.
Oh,
So
what?
yeah, so it's we got a good thing going. I cover Wi-Fi, he covers the meal, so it's great.
That sounds good. Okay, here's a cutting edge shed question. When I look you up, it looks like you'd have your Italian pass.
Yep.
So, ever thought of playing in Italy or any discussions of like, can you play for their national team? Because I'm pretty sure you're good enough.
Yeah, that was a big debate I had this year with my agent. Like, obviously, he wanted me to go to Italy.
Like to
Uh,
the actual Italian league? Because isn't there like a team in Italy that like plays in whatever it's called, Abel or whatever?
yeah, yeah. There's three teams now. There's Asiago, there's Asiago, Bolzano, and yeah, I'm forgetting the other name, Valpusteria. And yeah, those teams were already like they had all their imports. So we spoke to them at the beginning of the year. They were like, "Yeah, if anything happens, we could be interested." But obviously, I was looking for a team as soon as my suspension ended. So
Oh, hold on. Kids are getting picked up by the mom. 1 second. Got to pause her. Game back on. Sorry. So we were talking about the Italian teams, and you had some serious talks with those teams then?
yeah, yeah, at the beginning of the year for sure. And then obviously there's that other league, the Alps, which is just under the ice hockey league. And then that was pretty interesting. I was talking to a couple teams. Just the opportunity money wise and stuff wasn't exactly what I was looking for, so I figured I'd go back to a league that I already knew
Yeah.
and just try to get numbers up, name back up there. And
Well, you sure have done that. Yeah, and I always find it interesting with people's perceptions and stuff, right? It's like when we came on and chatted, um, and I don't know how many pods you've done and talked about like the suspension and all that baloney. But like that you got to say your side and like people got to hear your side and obviously what I think it's baloney and I think it's great you get to come to the shed and talk about stuff like that so everybody can just move on, right? It's like for me, all my thoughts about hockey and everything when I came back with my tail between my legs, getting to talk to people sure helped me, right?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, people always assume the worst, and
They do.
still now, like I'll go places and they still call me out for like doing coke and stuff. I'm like, man, like you could if you just read, like that's
Yeah.
all you need to do is read. Like it wasn't coke, it was weed from the summer. Like
Which is legal here, folks, and everybody's doing it.
yeah, I
And
mean,
there's in this tiny little town, there's 2 stores selling whatever you need, right? The drinks, the gummies, whatever you need. There's multiple stores in every town. They're all over the place here. And to think that you lost your job over it is crazy.
yeah, yeah, that's for it's more of that. It's like, you lose a full year of just like obviously your name gets run through the mud too. And like I said, it's for now, it's like, man, how are people so ignorant to,
Yeah.
if you want to call me out on something, just read upon it. Like take 5 minutes of your day and
Yeah.
you know,
The,
I don't
the
know. It's
keyboard warriors and stuff. There's a lot of tough people out there, right?
yeah, for sure. I mean, it's more at first it was through Twitter and stuff, and now it's more like you go to any away rink is like always have one or two dummies like chirp me about it, and it's
Think they're
it's
funny.
always
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like dude,
Yeah.
figure it out, man.
Yeah.
Like learn how to read.
Yeah. And you're just being annoying and mean, right? It's like
Yeah,
be a
exactly. Like
better
what does
person.
this get you?
Yeah. It's like the last time I ever trash talk in hockey. I was just being mean for no reason. And
Yeah.
then I ended up at the guy's apartment that night and he was handing me a beer after a game 7, best of 7, great series. I end up at the other team's apartment having beers. And the guy I like chirped during game 7 for no reason, just to be mean and get under his skin. And then he's like, "Hey, so you still think I shouldn't be on the power play?" And hands me a beer, and I was like, "Oh shoot, I'm
Like,
not trash talking anymore." And I never did again,
yeah, I
unless
mean,
they
yeah,
really deserved it.
yeah. I think that's obviously somewhat part of the game, but I mean, I think as you get older too, you just realize that it's no need. Like there's a lot of guys too have a lot of respect in the league, especially when I got back. Uh, my first couple games, a lot of guys were welcoming me back, and that I found that pretty cool, honestly. That guys take the time to come see me at a face-off and tell me that they thought it was bullshit too, and it was, yeah,
It
I
means a
honestly
lot,
wasn't,
right? Yeah,
yeah, I
when
wasn't
you got
expecting
the
it.
hockey guys on your side, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of guys that I didn't necessarily know too, like that Wilichka that was in Nottingham. He was like the first one. Then a couple guys on Cardiff too. So it was pretty surprising, especially that you have pretty big battles against them and stuff, and then just to take a 5 seconds to say like it is what it is, man. Nice to have you back, and
No, and it doesn't take much to say
yeah,
something that can make an impact. It's yeah, I noticed it with like the kids and stuff. It doesn't take much to say something nice, and people aren't used to hearing nice things, right? You're only
yeah,
used
yeah,
to hearing negative stuff
yeah. That's
usually.
true. Yeah, you're used to hearing all the negatives. So yeah, for a
Yeah.
nice comment every once in a while, it doesn't
Well,
hurt.
it's like when I watch some of the fellows I used to coach. They're on different teams, and when I did get the opportunity to go watch them play, like I would stay after and like wait till they came out of the room to tell them how good they played and how proud I was as like their former coach. And then, the parents like write to you like, "I can't believe you did that. That was so nice." I'm like, "Well, no, like the guys on my team and it was cool seeing them play." And it's like,
Yeah,
it didn't take me much to wait and say, "Hey, way to go." Right.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, it's just I think yeah, the more you go through hockey that you realize like the little things matter, and
Yeah.
it's just yeah, it is what it is. I guess it's obviously some people are, like I said before, ignorant and don't really take the time to, they pay their
Yeah.
ticket. They think they can say whatever they want, but
Well, yeah. And yeah, it's just interesting. I guess I would say it says a lot about you if that's what you're doing. It's going to the arena to be mean to the other team. Like
yeah,
let me just cheer on your team.
yeah, exactly. Or stay home. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, so I guess you'll always have your Italian pass, and like you wouldn't be an import in that league, so you would think there'd be some opportunities, right?
yeah. So you have to play there for 16 months before not becoming an import.
Oh, is that what it is? So
Yeah,
you'd have to commit to it and be
yeah.
there for
So yeah, pretty much the next 2 years would be
right.
obviously Italy is pretty interesting right now with them having the Olympics and stuff.
I
So
didn't even know that. I don't know much about what's going on in the world except for my
yeah,
Sheds.
yeah. So they would be hosting the Olympics. So it
When's
seems
that?
in 3 years. Well, I guess it would be like two after this year. So it would kind of be my deadline to
You'd have to
basically become
you'd
an
have to
Italian.
go, yeah, you'd have to go do it if you want the chance to make that squad and be there for that, eh?
Yeah, which would be obviously a really cool opportunity to be a part of the Olympics.
Right.
I mean, yeah, so my agent
Right.
definitely wants me to take that chance, and
Right. See what happens, I guess, eh?
yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
maybe we can have the Lions and the Crunchies come with us to wherever you may have to
yeah,
go, right?
yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
we can have a travel more chocolate on the road, right? Like it did happen with the Twix in Denmark. It went from Cardiff to Herning, so perhaps we could take chocolate with us to wherever you have to go to do that. But it would be a life memory to be able to do that, and it would give you some drive, wouldn't it, to like have a goal like this is where I want to go. This is what I want to do. Be,
oh, for sure. I mean, yeah, obviously, like, as a kid, you always grow up trying to make the NHL, and for me, my first goal was to make World Juniors, and that was kind of the first time I've ever been to see it, and it was tough to not make that, and then tough to not make the NHL. But now it's like, okay, yeah, you didn't make it, but there's somehow, some way, a randomly third goal that pops out of nowhere that I would have never thought of, obviously, like playing for Team Italy. But
yeah.
I was lucky enough that my grandparents are born there. My mom has her passport. So she, she was kind of the one that actually thought of it a couple years ago. And she just put it out there that it might be helpful. We don't, obviously it's just to have it is a helpful thing. So I'm glad I listened to her. I'm glad we got that done because now this opportunity is
Right.
Yeah, risen out of the blue.
Well, and like you talk about not making the NHL and that, it's like for my own hockey career, I didn't make the NHL and I was like, okay, I want to make like a career of it in Europe. And then my knee injury and like I didn't really get to the leagues I was hoping to get to. And then it all comes to an end and you get back and it's like, I didn't accomplish this goal. I didn't accomplish that goal. And then you're trying to figure out life and it's tough. But now that I've found this and like, it's like now I had a couple German fellas on and I was ranked top 10 in Germany speaking English. I thought that was neat. And I'm like, wow, I have so many different goals now that I never had. And it's all hockey and it's all relying on my hockey family to get it done. And it's like, can I be number one in Germany? And now I have all these goals again, and I'm back in the game. And I think it's great that I think you should go try and do that too.
Yeah, definitely. Like I get where you're coming from. Obviously, you kind of lose sight of goals and stuff. And as a kid, it's so like simple for you. Obviously, you just do everything in order to make the NHL. But once you don't make it, you kind of like lose perspective and almost like, what am I doing now? Like, why am I playing? What's like, is it worth the money? Is it worth not being close to my family? It's yeah, I've definitely had a couple years of like, what am I doing this for? And obviously this year, I wanted to perform to put myself on the map and have that chance that Team Italy, kind of says like, who is this guy, And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, obviously there's nothing set in stone. I'm nowhere near part of the team or anything. But I mean, I think I've definitely opened some eyes and
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think yeah, what you're doing to coming back and then coming back to the league that you were suspended from and then running amok, I think it's awesome. It's yeah, I love proving people wrong and
yeah,
being the guy that, that's what it's all about, right?
yeah, for sure. I think yeah, this year was definitely a proving people wrong year, and I think we spoke about it a bit in the first one, obviously with the like not going back to Sheffield and stuff like that. That was kind of tough for me, and
Yeah.
that was like obviously questioning myself too. Like if they don't believe in me, like am I going to be good enough? Am I going to be
Yeah.
would I have been one of the top players like I was the other years? And I mean, yeah, I think I've
Yeah. Oh yeah.
proven
Uh,
that one.
yeah, and that's awesome when you do that. I mean, I shouldn't bring up my stuff and I shouldn't talk about it, but I have not got the last two coaching applications I put in for minor hockey. Uh, so I do know there's a lot of things that go into these decisions. So I asked both of my teams I've coached so far if I just said no pressure. If you're up for it, I could use a couple reference letters of my coaching abilities. So hopefully I can, you know,
Keep on going, yeah.
and prove people and get to do what my passion is. And I want to just help all these kids. I want to turn them into hockey guys. I want to turn them into shed guys.
Yeah,
And the letters I got and the application I put in to coach, I was proud of it. And I mean, I can't see them not picking me now, but we'll see what happens, right?
yeah, exactly. Good luck with that. Actually.
Yeah, well, and all you can try and do is prove people wrong for other decisions they made, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
you can't just lay there and take it, right? Okay. Anywho, you played in the Canada Winter Games as a kid. I don't know if we talked about that last time, eh? You played for
Oh
Team
no, we didn't
Quebec.
speak about that. Yeah, we didn't.
How old were you?
It was the under 16, so we were all 15. That was an unbelievable experience. That was probably my first time playing in front of like an actual fan base, and
It's
yeah,
wild, eh? The first time you play in front of like a lot of fans, right?
oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that final was in Halley, and I can't remember how many people was in that barn. It was just a couple thousand, and it was the first time coming out for warm up. You're like, wow, this is amazing. Like this is
So that's the Canada Winter Games. So then it was just like under 16 and there was a tournament of each province or what?
yeah, exactly. So every province had their team, and it was like the Winter Olympics basically of like just Canada. So it was pretty cool. There was all the other sports there too. So we got to like bond with all like you
Yeah,
get the opening ceremony and this and that. So it was really cool experience, honestly. Like
that
that
would be.
whole yeah. Actually, my I have a little cousin that's there right now. She's playing for Team Quebec, and she's been ripping it up. So
Is
it's
that
pretty
right?
cool. She's following in the footsteps. Yeah, we're in the same number, so that's pretty cool. Yeah.
What, you're number 15?
Yeah. Well, this year, unfortunately, I was retired, so I had to
Oh.
change to 71. But yeah, she stuck with 15, and
So
obviously that.
why is 15 your number? I always like these stories.
Yeah. So I always had 71 as a kid, and then I we played on this summer league team that just great coach, great guy, and kind of like second dad to me. And his son took his own life when he was 11. So he had played on our team for a tournament, and we kind of got close. And so everyone that was on that team just changed their number to 15 in honor of him. I have it tattooed on me. It's like a real big part of my life, obviously, and it sucks losing a friend when you're young. And for me, it's just like an honor to wear that number. And
Yeah.
yeah, his dad has a similar tattoo. It's just it was just really everything is for Casey. And yeah,
I Jesus, that's like the age of all these fellows are around here. I can't imagine that.
yeah, it's tough for sure. It's yeah, not obviously not many people know about that. And it's always stuck with me. 15's always been like really important. So
Yeah.
it always sucks when I can't get it, but I mean, I
Yeah.
know there's a reason why it's tattooed on me. And yeah,
And it's still on you, even
yeah,
if it's
exactly.
not your
It'll, yeah,
jersey.
it'll
Yeah.
always be, yeah.
hmm Um, yeah. Yeah. I didn't know any of that. So, um, speaking of those Canada Winter Games, though, it looks like the team is all very similar to your under 17 team, right? You got Jonathan Duran, you got the Duclair, that guy can skate.
Yeah.
And like Frederick Gauthier, the guy that was with the Leafs, the goat, right?
Yeah, they go. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's kind of the crew you grew up with then around there.
Yeah. Yeah. All those guys are from my area. So it was pretty cool. We always had either playing together or against each other in the summer. So it was, yeah, it was pretty cool. Joe and I played on the same midget team together. Also like summer AAA, Duclair was there too. So
That's cool.
Freddie's just been a friend since a young kid. We trained together in the summer, and we ended up going to Rimouski together for 3 years. So we just, yeah, we were always pretty much together in
That's cool.
either Team Quebec or Rimouski. Yeah.
Well, that so what brings back memories for me though is I went to my son's game in the semifinals. We're playing Drayton, and it's weird how many people I know around the rinks around here. It's like all the people I played hockey against are now have had kids, and we're all back at the rinks again.
Yeah.
But I run into a guy I won all Ontario's with in novice, and we see each other during the round robin. He's like, I have a book of all the pictures of when we won. And then I show up for the semifinals, and he brings the book, and he shows me all these pictures from. So this is from my hometown, Elmira, Ontario,
Mm-hmm.
small town. We had two guys go to the OHL. We had three guys go NCAA. We had Dennis Wideman played like however many games in the NHL. I had my career, and then Adam Hogg and Andrew Lackner were in the Central League and played NCAA. Rodney Bauman won the OHL. This was all from a single A town in Elmira, Ontario, and those are the guys I grew up with. And it's pretty neat when you all push each other your whole lives, and like the baseball games, the ping pong games, kind of make you better at hockey too, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we actually a guy that wasn't on that roster was Zach Fucale.
The goalie.
Yeah, and he's been a buddy of mine since I can only remember, I guess, 6 years old. And we lived real close by, so he was always in the street hockey games and stuff. And it
That'll
was,
that'll help you as a shooter going on a
yeah,
goalie
for
like
sure.
that all the time,
Yeah,
right?
our street hockey games were pretty wild when you think back to it. Everyone either played NCAA or Q or is playing pro or played pro. So it was pretty cool. Like we had a good group of friends as a kid, and we obviously
You were into
still,
hockey. That's what you're doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And when we
But
talk about it, it's kind of like we speak to, I know, like my girlfriend had asked about it and stuff, and she was like, how does that make sense that you guys all ended up playing pro? And
mhm.
we all like, I think it's just the fact that everyone just pushed each other so hard as a kid, and it was
But it's also
always,
that you loved hockey too. I find it interesting, like in this town, is like my son's buddies. There's like the 6 or 7 of them that have been together this whole time. Like they like they just want a hockey. Like they're hockey guys. That's what they
Oh, yeah.
do. And when your life is like that and you love it that much, it's not the hour practice you go to a week, right? It's going home and playing hockey with your buddies all the
Yeah.
time and competing and trying to get better. Like every day is when you get better, right? It's
Oh, yeah.
when they want it.
Yeah. I
And then
think,
your whole group of friends is like that and you compete all the time and it makes you better.
oh, yeah. We had, man, we were lucky, either at my house or my best buddy's house. We had like 3-on-3 rollerblade games in the basement. So we were
That's
going
hockey.
every day after school. It was one day mine, one day his. So it was unbelievable. Like,
Oh yeah.
and things that you don't really, I guess you're just having fun as a kid. And then
Yeah.
when you get to pro and when your hands are good and tight and stuff like that, and people ask you how you did it, it's just, you've
Oh
been
yeah.
used to a basement playing 3-on-3. It's like it comes natural. So
It's like when I was growing up, going over to Dennis Weidman's house, like when he was under 9, he's a big Mennonite fella. He was like 3 times the size of me. And I go over and play mini hockey with him, and he just beat the wheels off me, right? Because he was used to his older brothers beating him up. So then he'd take it out on me, and it makes you tougher.
oh, for sure. Yeah.
Teaches you how to compete against the big boys.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the competition is the biggest thing. It's just you learn how to compete and you learn how to like
Yeah.
you learn to hate to lose. So it's just
Oh
like
yeah.
it definitely creates winners. I think that helps a lot.
I think it's neat that your whole crew from growing up is kind of, yeah, like, and the way it worked out is like there's never been an age group like ours out of Elmira ever, and I don't think there ever will be again. It's like to think of 5 guys going places in a single A town just makes no sense, but when
Yeah,
you talk about it like this, it does make sense, right?
yeah, for sure. Yeah, well, I think like we said, it's just when
And you
you're
learn how
having
to
fun.
win, which you learned how to win as a young guy. That's a thing. Learning how to win is a thing, and how important and fun
Oh,
it
for
is. It's
sure.
like those pictures that guy gave me. It's like you could see it in our faces. We learned how to win when we were 10 years old, right? And you
Oh
knew
yeah,
how important it was.
yeah. I think that was yeah. As a kid, I remember one of the dads of the group always would coach, and I remember before every year he would ask uh, how many guys have ever won anything in their lives, and it was kind of always the same guys that would lift their hand, and he would always say the same thing. Like it should be everyone in this room that's lifting their hand, and you got to learn to be a winner, and that kind of stuck with me. And it's just like when you're when you've never won or never really learned that mentality, it's tough to get into it, and it's tough to actually know what it is. And I was obviously fortunate enough to win at the junior level and win in pro with Sheffield. So it's just I think it sticks around, and it's definitely a mentality. And
Oh yeah.
obviously you're hard on yourself, and like I'm
I find you take the losses harder once you've won and you realize what it can do
oh
and be
for
about.
sure.
Um, yeah, it's like the same crew that we won in novice. We grew up together and then played junior B together. And then the core of our team was from Elmira, and we win the Sutherland Cup together. And you see what it does to your town and where you're from and bring so many people together. Like winning can bring towns together. And it's like
For sure.
seeing what's going on in Manchester, you guys winning, and then all the chocolate hitting the ice. It's like this is like it brings people together. Winning does that, right?
Yeah, for sure. And
Yeah.
obviously, like Manchester haven't really made the playoffs in the last 4 years. And for me, that was like my number one goal coming here. I told Ginner like I'm not going to be a part of that. Like I might be tough on guys. I might be tough on a lot of situations, but like
But
I've
you know what
won
it
my
takes to
whole life.
win, and you know
Yeah,
what's
and
right and wrong.
I'm
Yes.
sorry if I sound like a dick sometimes, but
Yeah.
we just like it's not acceptable to be mediocre. And if you're not up to par, I'm gonna let you know, and it is what it is. So just
Yeah.
figure it
But
out.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You're right. But then there's stuff in pro hockey where like guys do stuff, and you're like, you can't do that. We're not going to win if you do that. You can't do
yeah,
that. If you don't do that, we can't win.
yeah. I definitely see a big change of our team since guys like Rhodes, another guy Harrison came in, and it's just like, uh, yeah, I think it's not necessarily like I'm not saying we change the team. Obviously, we can't. It's a team sport. You can't just single handedly change a team. But I think the mentality, and even from the first meeting that I came in here and we spoke to the guys, I just kind of said, all about accountability, and I don't see it right now. I don't think we have accountability, and I think now there definitely is a lot more. So it's
Well,
just
yeah, you got to hold each other accountable. Like it's like as soon as you
100%.
let something slide, it's like, well, that's where we're setting the bar, right? It's like,
Yeah. Well, I mean,
yeah,
I came from Sheffield being the youngest guy, and like guys are holding me fucking accountable, and like
yeah,
I was a little shit, right? So it was like if and I've obviously I respect that because I learned from that, and guys would tell me like, man, if you're not playing the way we want you to play, like we're gonna tell you, and like you can't just suck. Like
yeah,
you gotta like you have potential and you have to be good. Like it's not
yeah.
an option for you to suck. So you have to just play up to your potential. And I guess that kind of
To win, you need every player playing as good as they possibly can. That's how
oh
teams
for
win.
sure.
Is you need everybody being the best player they could be, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, 100%. And I definitely brought that with me over here. And like I said, maybe I'm hard sometimes and definitely harsh critic of myself. And, sometimes I let my emotions get over me, but obviously I just want to win, and
Yeah.
it's tough to lose games. So
It is tough to lose because then like your day-to-day life isn't as fun. It's like you go for dinner with another couple. It's like, well, if we just lost a couple, this dinner isn't as fun as if we just
yeah.
won a couple. And it does change your day-to-day life, winning and losing, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I think like exactly what you said. It's just everything makes everything better. Like you're winning, you're happy, you're
And when
this.
you're rolling, you can get rolling. And then it's
Yeah.
and then everybody starts buying it in and realizing how much fun it is. And then
Yeah.
that's when things can get really fun, you know? Um, so I found an article today. Research team was hot one point there. It was, yeah, the one page that the research team goes to. It says that you were planning on going to Vermont, but then you ended up in Rimouski.
Yeah.
Did we? I don't know. Did we talk about that? You were going to go to Vermont because your favorite player was St. Louis or something, and
Yeah.
then you didn't go.
Yeah. That was actually a plan. It wasn't just me picking my team. I actually did want to go to Vermont. And then Phil Boucher called from Rimouski, and
Change your mind
yeah, he slightly changed my mind with
slightly. You won the Q with them, so that's good.
yeah. That was honestly that was yeah, he like
Did you
obviously
ever get school done?
yeah, so I did so in that deal they were covering school. So obviously it wasn't just come to Rimouski,
Yeah.
you'll like there was obviously some extras, and um yeah, part of that deal was just that pretty much that my parents can come see every game. It wouldn't really cost them a cent, and
Wow, that's a good deal.
yeah, that was definitely helpful.
How far is that?
It was like 6 hours. So
Were they driving it?
yeah, they were driving it, yeah, but everything pretty much expenses paid and hotel and all that. So that was really nice to have them there all the time. And then they were covering my school till I was 28. So if I didn't play pro, they would cover all my schooling and give me a bit of extra. So
But that's the thing in those leagues, right? If you go pro, don't you lose your school deal?
yeah, technically, yeah, but they were really cool about it because I did my 20-year-old year as a pro and then went back to school for a year, and they were totally fine with it. They kind of just whatever. They didn't really follow what they're supposed to follow, I guess, and they just paid for it regardless. They didn't give me a hard time one bit. Honestly, they were super cool about that, and
Well,
to
that's
this
awesome because
day,
you need that. You need that.
oh, for
Yeah.
sure, yeah. And honestly, I have only good things to say about Rimouski. Like till this day, if I ever want to go train or whatever, their doors are always open, and
And
they
you
always
won.
call
Do
me
you
back.
won there?
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah.
what a time, man.
Winning's a thing, guys. If anybody's listening, winning's a thing. It actually changes your lives and it
Oh, for
changes your
sure.
relationships with people forever. You know?
Yeah, that was. I think that definitely created a brotherhood, and to this day, we always still to stay in touch. Actually, the guy that I won with just finished top scorer of Liga, so message him today. It's pretty cool for him that he just got MVP of Liga. So that
That's the
was
in the Finnish league.
yeah, Finnish league. Yeah,
So
he's
he's
top
a
scorer.
player then.
Oh yeah, he's a hell of a good player. He was my line mate for 3 years, so it's pretty cool to see those guys succeed. And
Who's that now?
Michael Jolie,
Well,
Yeah,
Well done, sir.
he's
That
been killing it. Yeah, he's been killing it. So,
it's cool when you're on those teams and you see the success people have, right? It's like when I
oh
get chatting around, it's like when I got invited over to Bietigheim for my buddy's jersey to get retired. It's like, well, I'm not getting that invite and he's not getting his jersey retired unless we win, right? You don't retire jerseys for people that don't win.
yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, it's and like you said, it creates like a better environment and like literally a brotherhood. And
Yeah.
anytime I see one of those guys or just talk, it's like those all those memories fly back, and it's just man, there's nothing better than a game seven double OT. So it's yeah,
Yeah.
it
And
was
it's like when you guys get to the playoffs, which you have confirmed you're in, it's 4 wins. Four
yeah,
wins.
and you never know, yeah.
4 wins, and then that Nottingham arena could have so much gosh darn chocolate on the ice. It would be outrageous, right? I bet you all the other teams that come to cheer would even bring chocolate for you fellas if you won. I bet
Yeah,
you it would be a circus.
I think it would definitely be a surprise for the league if we took it. And like
I
you
think
said,
you
it's four
should.
games. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Just
it
don't
could
play
happen.
Cardiff, okay?
Yeah,
I don't need them chirping me about supporting. I'm giving shed boosts. I'm just enjoying the ride, right? Herminator. But no, I just don't want you to play Cardiff in the playoffs. It'd be cool to see you guys win though. Chocolate hit the ice, right? Because that's funny.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Anytime you win, it's an unbelievable accomplishment, and especially like we're not necessarily sneaking into the playoffs, but we
Is
didn't
your
drop it.
dog chewing on something right now?
Yeah, he's ripping some food back there. So
Holy moly! It sounds like he's getting after it. I can
oh
hear
yeah,
it.
yeah, he doesn't eat all day until we're both home, and
And then
yeah,
he gets after it. Yeah, I understand. No, it'll be interesting how the whole playoffs go, but it all happens fast, right? It's like 2 weeks and it's over.
yeah, literally 2 weekends, and yeah, it's
Mhm.
not the playoffs you're used to coming from North America, but
No.
it is what it is.
So another question I kind of jumped over though was for that Canada Winter Games and your under 17s where it's kind of a similar team. The coach was Donald Audette, the guy that like played for the Sabres.
Yeah, yeah,
And his kid was on the team, Daniel, who can play
yeah,
too.
yeah. Dan's a good buddy of mine, actually.
They say genes are a thing, folks.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dan's really good. He was in the KHL last year, ripped it up, and then now he's in the Swiss league. So he's
Yeah.
been doing really good for himself.
No kidding. If you're in the Swiss league, you're living.
Yeah, yeah, that's for sure. Yeah,
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, when you went to Rimouski though, you scored 22 goals and 35, then 44 goals. It's quite a few goals. And it kept getting more and more each year. So then what were your pro options when you left? Because you had won the championship and scored 91 points and 44 goals and had 11 playoff goals.
mm-hmm. Yeah. So that I think that's definitely the biggest decision I regret in my career is not going back as a 20-year-old. I
Okay.
I just thought I had got traded after the playoff run, so I was going to a team that was rebuilding, and I didn't necessarily see myself
What
in a
they traded you after winning a championship and you scored all those points to a rebuilding team for as your 20-year-old year?
yeah. So
Isn't that opposite how those leagues work?
yeah, I guess it was basically like we had went and go get a 20-year-old and a good goalie from them at Christmas, and then it was they had to send me back at the end of the year
Oh, jeepers.
with some yeah. So and they threw in some picks there too. So it was a pretty big trade to be honest. And yeah, then I just
And then you never ended up playing for that team.
yeah, like I saw myself going there and then getting traded at Christmas. So
Yeah, to one of the contenders again. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm more of like I want to stay loyal to my team. Like I want to be there for.
You want to be on a
I,
team.
I
I
would have
can
loved.
tell what you're like. I know you're a
Yeah,
shed
I
guy.
would have loved to finish my career in Rimouski, and I, for me not to finish it there, it kind of made no sense for me. So I was just like, I'll if I
Mhm.
can't finish it here, I will finish it here. I'll do it on my own, and I'll just go pro. And then obviously, I think I was just too young to be in a pro environment at 20, and I had not a terrible year, but not a great year for sure in the coast, and that was just that was my toughest decision. I think I should have
But so
went
what did you sign out of there then? What was your
just the coast. Yeah,
just a
yeah.
coast deal after the year you just had?
it was definitely not the greatest decision. And I mean, yeah,
Well,
I didn't
whatever.
have the
You make the decisions, you just gotta roll with them, right? That's
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
um so the other part though is like I know what you're like. You like being on a team. So I guess it was like last year, right? When you're playing in the coast. It would be very different than playing in the UK because I saw the Trois Rivières Lions that year had 75 players and five goalies. That's 80 players on the roster that played a game. 80.
Yeah, it was unheard of. It was pretty much didn't have a third line. We had just signed three new guys every week. It was like it was pretty wild, and it's like you said, it's nothing like Europe, and
No.
it's tough because we had a good core group too. And as soon as I got there, I felt like I fit in right away, and the guys were really nice with me. And it was honestly a lot of guys that I knew already. It was that goalie I won with in Rimouski DeRosier who kind of got me there. So yeah, it was really cool. Definitely a good group of guys. I think we had a bit too much fun. Maybe that's
Yeah, that can
why
happen.
maybe they shipped me off to KC. But yeah,
Yeah, the pro game, man, is so different in North America to Europe, and then like to get 75 skaters in one
yeah,
year. But then you do go to Kansas City, and then there's a couple guys that are in the league that are doing quite well. Marcus Crawford was on that team. That's
yeah.
Devil. He
Mhm.
was pretty clever with a puck, eh? He's pretty good.
Oh yeah, he was fun to play with. Yeah, it was just
You on a
like
power play with him then?
yeah, I was lucky enough to be on his power play. That's when I started getting my points in KC. Uh, so yeah, as soon as they threw me on Cross power play, things started rolling. It was fun. He's just so smart with the puck, and obviously it shows this year with the amount of points he has. Like he's just such a good skater. He's tough. He can do it.
He's
He
a
can do it
player.
all. Yeah, he's really good. Yeah.
Mm. And then the goalie was one of them of however many were there. Matt Greenfield from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Sheffield goalie. Then he's doing pretty good too, eh?
Yeah, yeah. He had actually called me this summer to see if you should go to Sheffield, and I just said, man, run, like go now. It's obviously an opportunity you want, and for them to give him an offer, I think he doesn't regret it either. I think it was a great decision on both their end and his end to join. So it was,
I'm because I know way more about hockey, what goes on nowadays than I used to, is they had signed two import goalies that were like gonna split the net, and then the other guy
yeah,
got hurt, and then he just took the net and said, no, like I'm the goalie. Play me.
I think he was going in honestly as a second because the other guy like
He
had
was
a
the
really,
yeah.
yeah, he was like, I might be wrong. I don't know if he was DEL or SHL, but I know he played in some phenomenal leagues. So it was Greeny's, net to gain, and
Yeah.
he definitely took it by storm. And he's just
Well, yeah, and that things like that work out for guys when they can play, right? You get your opportunity, and then
yeah, he's a great goalie. Like he deserves it, obviously. And I was telling guys at the beginning of the year, like you guys are going to be surprised how good this guy is. Like, and obviously now they've seen like he's tearing up the league. So
okay. Here's another cutting edge question for you. How did you get to Denmark after you went to Concordia and you basically like you were the first ever rookie of the year from that school? You scored 24 goals in 28 games, 43 points, won a lot of awards. So how'd you go to Denmark?
so we ended up playing Denmark at Christmas break because the World Juniors were in Montreal. So Team Denmark came to us. We ended up playing them.
You
We
played their
ended up,
world junior team?
yeah. So they're under 20 team, and we ended up beating them. And I had a really good game against them. And basically, one of the kids that was on the team, his dad is an agent in Denmark. So obviously, him just watching his son play kind of noticed me
Yeah,
and reached out and was like, "Man, if you're interested in coming to Denmark, I definitely have a spot for you here." So
that's cool.
yeah, that's kind of how it happened, just like a fluke. So
Ah, that's neat. Did you like your time in Denmark?
yeah, I mean the it was a great city and stuff. It was special dynamic I had with I think we spoke about him before, Mario Simeone.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, yeah, he was burying me on the fourth line and stuff. So it was tough to like.
Right. I
But I
think we
mean,
did talk about that. He was the coach there.
yeah, yeah. So he was kind of like he didn't like that I was putting up points, and he didn't really like my play style. He said I was lazy and stuff, and he hated that I was getting points and being lazy. So I mean, it worked out for me. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, so that's how you went there. So then you go to Sheffield. Here's another cutting edge question. First year you go there, you play 42 games and get 25 points, 17 goals though. The next year, same amount of games, 47 points and 26 goals. What do you think? What changed the most from the first year to the second year? Ice time? It's pretty
Um,
important.
no, you'll be surprised, but when I showed up to Sheffield, I had 0 points my first 20 games.
It's not very good.
Yeah, I was brutal. I
And
was,
they
you
didn't
know,
can you?
well, they basically like told me that I had one more weekend to prove to them. They knew I had potential, and they yeah, they basically warned
Were you
me.
getting chances? Were you getting opportunities?
Yeah,
And
I was definitely getting my chances, but I was in a tough headspace. Stuff was going on back home and stuff. So that was like a year I was debating even if I should play hockey, this and that. So my family was on my mind a lot. Um, things
yeah.
weren't so good, and
And happy hockey
uh,
players play better. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And basically, that weekend that it was Tom Barrasso, the coach, and he came up to me and said, like, "Hey, man, like, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. Like, if you don't perform this weekend, you're gone."
Right.
So he's like, "I just wanted to give you the friendly hands up. I'm gonna give you your opportunity. I'm gonna put you on the second line. I know you haven't had a lot of opportunity, but this is, make your break. Like, I'm giving you some leash. So if you don't take it, you're gone." And my first shift, I ended up scoring 2 goals on the first shift uh, against
That
Manchester.
that's helpful.
Yeah, and ended up with a Hattie in that game and game winner and shootout the
And
game
that's
after.
against Skinner.
Yeah, against Skinner. Yeah, so
You got a hat trick against him too, then. So
yeah, I've had a couple actually against Skinner. He's been helpful actually. I think I have 3 or 4 in my career against Skinner, so that's been nice. But
mixing a save getter,
yeah,
right?
yeah. So yeah, they basically, Tom came to see me after the weekend. He's like, I didn't see this going this way. He's like, we thought we were canning you no matter what happened, and like we can't. So
Yeah.
we'll keep you and see how it goes. And I
And
was
the
lucky.
rest of the way you did well.
Yeah, their captain Jonathan Phillips and this guy Evan McGrath kind of took me under their wing, and they were the two older guys of the team, and they were like, like we'll play with Ants. Like we see the potential in him. Like just throw him on our line, and I think we'll do fine. And then we took off, and Evan ended up finishing like top scorer of our team. He was like 20 points behind the next guy when we started. So like it was pretty cool. Our line just lit it up till the end of the year, and I put all my points up in the last 20 games. So it was pretty wild that I went
Yeah.
from 0 and 20 to like 26 and 20, and so
Playing with the right people helps. And Jono's a beauty, eh? He was just done and he's retiring, eh? That game's gonna miss that guy and his
oh man,
toes.
he was such a beauty. He was one of the coolest teammates I've ever played with. I was lucky enough to live with him in Germany, and when my agent asked me to bring one person to Germany with me, it was, for sure the guy I was asking first. And, John was just like the nicest guy. He's just the ultimate gentleman, ultimate captain. He's,
Just a great person, isn't
yeah, just, yeah, like a majestic guy. Like
he?
he's just,
Yeah,
there's no
yeah.
other way to put it. He's like,
I know.
you talk to him and he's just like the nicest guy ever. And he was literally my dad in Germany. He'd like make supper for me and stuff. It was really cool to get to know him on a deeper level there. And obviously, being teammates and then living together is a different story. But I think the thing I learned most about Jono and Ev was that like we just always kept a smile on our face. He was just the one rule was you can't get mad no matter what happens. So even on the bench, we'd always be just laughing it up and stuff like that. And
Enjoying the game and having fun.
yeah, literally. And just by laughing and by keeping a smile on your face, at the end of the day, like things end up working out. So it's just,
It makes it easier to do things when you're
yeah.
enjoying
And
it.
it's weird to say that. It's, it's almost like you say when you're mad, you don't play as well. But it's true though. Like after going through that year, you really see like it's wild what it could do to you.
And yeah, what you go, yeah, I lived it. Yeah, the years you're the happiest and having the most fun are the years you play the best. That Evan McGrath for Small World, I remember skating with him, and he played in Toledo, I think it was, right at the start of my career. And that guy was way too good for the coast, and then he never went back, I think. But he was really good. He was a
Yeah,
Kitchener Ranger too, eh?
yeah. He's nasty. He's
He's a really good player.
self
Yeah.
calls himself the drop pass king. He's hilarious, man. He was such a good guy. They just kept it simple. It was funny because they were like obviously, like I said, the older guys of the team and have refused to shoot the puck. he he kept telling me, he's like, man, like we got one job each. You shoot, I pass, he skates. We'll keep it simple. It works like that. So John,
That John would be all over the place and doing whatever it took and going to the net, and then
oh
McGrath
yeah,
could pass, and then you can shoot. Yeah, it would all work out, eh?
yeah, it was a fun year, and I think Jono had, if not his best year, definitely one of his best years. So it was really cool to get Jono some
To
numbers
be a
and
part
stuff.
of that, yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
It
Because
was
who
a
else
really cool
deserves it
time.
more, right?
Oh, for sure. Like he deserves, like obviously I want him to end his career on a good note, and he deserves all the best, man.
Yeah, it's sad when a guy like that's leaving the game, right? It's like they don't make him like that ever, you know?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, hearing what he was playing through a year ago was, man, that's a legend.
Hmm. Oh yeah.
Jeepers. So you know what I had written down here? You're 28 years old, and I had aspirations question mark. I think we kind of talked about one thing you really got on your mind and that you want to do. And that might be the Olympics, but that would be really, really neat to have a shed guy in the Olympics, you know?
Yeah, that would be, yeah, definitely the goal for now. Yeah.
But you haven't really thought of anything else probably other than that though, right?
No, I mean, yeah, obviously there's aspirations out of hockey, and I got a pretty good opportunity this year, but it's tough because then I'd have to quit hockey and stuff. So I really enjoy teaching kids, and I really enjoy like just like seeing the progress the kids go through, and I got a nice opportunity to teach in my favorite part about the game, a shooting clinic. So obviously it would be pretty special for me to have my own somewhat of a, yeah, basically it's called the hockey lab. And it was pretty cool that he offered me to run my own space and this and that, but he also understands that I have the Olympics in sight. So I
Yeah.
think he's ready to hold off, and I'm still going to work with him this summer, and we're going to obviously help out the kids and stuff. And I'm going to coach some summer teams and this and that. So I love that part of the game. And I really do. I love coaching. I think I like teaching more than coaching, just to see where the kids can really grasp on and how much they want to learn, because I kind
Yeah.
of see myself in them. And so, yeah, that's
That part of the game is what I'm right into. I Yeah, I love it. Seeing like, you know, going from the start of the season to where you can be near the end of the season, and but also, trying to teach them good values and character stuff, right? It's can mean a lot. And you're right, you do see yourself in it. It's like with my son and his buddies, it's just like the fellows in Elmira, Ontario, you know, back in the early 90s. It's the
oh
same
yeah.
stuff. And to think you can make an impact, right? And then be the coach you would have wanted, you know?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that's a big part of it too. Is like you're pretty critical of your coaches and this and that, and then you kind of
Well,
put
you
yourself
learn
in
from
a
them too, right?
situation.
You're
Yeah,
people you're always learning from. It's like you want to take the good things from the coaches and probably not the what things you didn't like about them, right?
yeah, of course,
But then
100%.
sometimes you look back on it and you're like, well, he was actually teaching me something when he said that. And I
Yeah,
know it pissed me off, but it sure stuck with me, right?
yeah, for sure. And I think it's just the thing I take out of that the most, and I think it definitely helps me when I get to the beginning of season, is just understanding the coach's point of view and stuff like that. And definitely, just I'm the type of guy that I like being spoken to, and explain stuff and not just shout it out
Right.
and this and that. So
Yeah.
I'm more, I like to explain to the kids in the summer. And, if you're just doing a drill wrong, like instead of stopping the drill and making an idiot out of you, like I'll
Yeah.
just take them to the side and just explain to them. And even if I have to show them a couple times, do the drill with them, that's fine by me. Like I
But
just
you
want
but
to,
you teach them the way you'd want to be teached.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then
Yeah.
I think it's just what you said is you take the best from every coach, and you obviously leave out the things that you don't like. And I just think it's pretty cool to see like kids that obviously look up to you, and they see you as a pro hockey player, and that it's for them, that's the ultimate goal, right? So they want to
Oh,
be where
yeah.
you are.
Yeah, it is neat. And yeah, I I got another week. I got 2 weekends left with my gals this season. It's been a hell of a ride. We got our year-end tournament in 2 weekends, and it's gonna be sad when it's over, man.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
You go through a whole year together and you see each other all the time, and then it's gonna come to an end, right? Like every hockey season does. Sad stuff, right?
Yeah,
Till the next one comes.
yeah, yeah. A couple months later,
Yeah. Well, I don't have much else other than, I am a big Storm fan and Devils fan, folks. Don't worry about that.
yeah.
Um, but like, I love that the fans are buying in and your team all seems to be buying in and they're playing hard and winning games. And I think it's neat to see. I wish you guys luck and keep doing what you're doing, right? Keep having fun.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think.
Keep the chocolate storm going, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, that would be nice. Yeah, we need it for the end of the year here, last little push. So that'd be good to end up on a high note there.
Yeah. And then it's, 4 wins and then have at it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you never know what happens in playoffs.
And Lions bars, folks, and crunchies if you want to
Yeah.
get frisky, right? And this has been another episode of Two L's and Hockey Tales with the Duke and Wally.